This is a redhead snake boot or hunting boot. It's a very common problem for this to come unglued because you usually store it in a garage or a shed or something like that. This boot has two different parts to it. It has an outsole here and then what's called a midsole. Although it looks complicated, it really isn't, but you want to do it in shifts. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the heel first. This whole thing's coming apart, except the toe is relatively intact, and the sole is attached a little bit right in the middle. If it's completely off, you can do it also, but if you can leave just a small section to keep it in its original position, it's a lot easier to play with. So we're going to start with the heel only, and we're going to attach the outsole to the midsole first. And once we get that, we're going to do the back first, and then we'll do the toe section, and then we'll work on the base or the midsole last. So what we want to do is start out in the middle of the boot. You always want to take a boot fix and start from the inside out. So you put a small bead right to the very end, and then you work your way into the middle, and then put some at the very end. It's just easier and it doesn't drip all over the place. So we're going to just put this all over the side of the boot. Inside out, the last bead should be right at the very edge. And so we are going to set this in place. It should go right back where it wants to go, kind of like it wants to go home. So we're going to send it home. And you want to hold it for 30 to 45 seconds. And once you get it somewhat in place and it's not moving around, you'll have time. You can go back to the other side. So we're only going to secure one side of the boot first, even though we've glued up everything. But we can just hold it there. If for some reason you get some excess glue on the side, just take a doubled up paper towel and just wipe the excess. Hold it to 30 to 45 seconds. You really want to hold it for about 15 or 20 seconds till it kind of holds itself. And then come back to this side and do the same thing for about 15 to 20 seconds. And then we'll go back and do the same thing again on the other side. You could do half of the boot on this half. You could do just this half of the boot and then do the other half and then do the toe. However you feel more comfortable doing. Sometimes this sole will be a little bit stretched out, or maybe not even a little bit, it doesn't come quite to the end. It's okay. You can just re-glue it and until it fits right into the slot. And it's setting up pretty nicely. Here again, we haven't touched the midsole yet. We'll get to that last. But this is setting up really nicely. The most awesome thing about Boot Fix is that heat or water won't affect it. So once you put it on, it's not going to come apart again like the original did, because they use in the direct attach, which is what this this kind of sole is directly attached to the boot. The glue that we use is completely different than the manufacturer's glue. So that way it won't come apart on you like it did when you bought it. So you can put it back in the garage and it won't be an issue. What I've done here is I've decided to do one half of the side first, and then I'll do the other half, and then we'll do the toe last. That way we can see how the curved part here lines up perfectly like it was originally. And so we want to make sure that this fits right into the groove. If you don't get it lined up right the first time, just pull it apart and re-glue it. Not a problem at all. You won't have a problem getting it apart as long as you don't wait, like a couple minutes. It might be a lot tougher to get apart again. Inside out. Here again, we're doing half of the boot. It's just easier to do than to do one whole side all at once. You can even hold this in place while you do the other side. Inside out, you can just drip it down there. Because this glue lasts a long time, it goes a long way. An entire bottle of glue could probably do 2 boots, the whole sole, on 2 different pair of boots. So that would be like 4 boots in this section, because it's going to take up more glue than like a regular shoe or even like a regular. Okay, now that we went back over to this side to get it secured, now we're going to do the toe. And just put a little bead there. Hold it in place 30 to 45 seconds or until it's dry. Sometimes it's less. Sometimes it might take a little bit more. But, certainly within a minute, it'll be ready to go. So we're just going to hold it in place. And if you take a look at the other boot, see how that's all lined up? The notches are right where they're supposed to be, because that's where it was originally. And so it's pretty easy to put it back into its same position, but it's pretty important to put it back in its same position, because that way it's going to line up on both this side and the other side. Any excess, just wipe it off, and it'll stay flexible and it'll really hold. Now that we're done, we did the heel. That is holding up very well. We did the sole, and that is holding up very well. That's called the outsole. Now we're going to attach it to the rest of the boot itself. It's real easy to just do it all at one time. Take Boot Fix and you start inside out. Put a nice bead, cross it back and forth, and then go a little bit towards the outside, all the way around. And then the final one is right on the very edge, all the way around. Have your trifold paper towel and take the excess off. And just hold one half for about 15 to 20 seconds till it kind of sets up. You might want to periodically check and make sure there's no drips here. And now that this is back in place, then you can come back over here to the other side and hold that in place for 15 to 20 seconds. And then just go back over for the next minute or so, just to make sure that this caught all the way around. If you see a spot that's maybe you didn't get enough glue on, no problem. Just go back over again. And redo it. And glue it and then hold until it stays. And in a boot like this, I would probably wait an hour and you could wear it right away. And it'll stay flexible, it'll stay in water, it'll stay in heat, and it stays flexible. Here again on this side, you want to go back over and just hold it in place. For 30 to 45 seconds. And you just saved yourself $200.